Yo, what is going on, you guys? BashtianYgo here, and today I'm coming at you with my 96-point Genesis Blue Eyes deck profile for the brand new format. So, as you guys know, Genesis is the brand new Yu-Gi-Oh format that Konami just announced about 2 weeks ago, more or less, and I've been trying to figure out what deck I want to play. I've been going back and forth between Onomat, which I played at most recent Genesis local I went to. I didn't like it too much. But I thought I want to go back to my roots and just get Blue Eyes a shot, and this is going to be a really cool deck profile for you guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys do not know, Genesis format is a format where basically there's no ban list whatsoever, but instead Konami has dictated that some of the best cards, or some of the more stronger or powerful cards, are going to be based off of a point system, right? So a certain amount of cards are going to have certain different points, yada yada, but majority of the cards, or I want to say around 98%, 99% of all the cards don't have any points. So it's a lot of stuff that you have to consider. Now, Konami did say that local card shops can have different point caps. If you want to do like a 100 points or a 500 points or a 1500 point limit, that's complete up to you. Now, they did say that the standard for Genesis format was going to be 100 points. So this is what we have done today. We have a 96-point Blue Eyes deck profile for Genesis, guys. So we have a little more spy if we want to squeeze something in. If you guys know something, let me know in the comment section down below, but I want to go ahead and get right on into it. So we're going to go ahead and put this to the side. And 100 points, it accounts for your main deck, your extra deck, and your side deck as well, guys. So definitely something that we have to consider when deck building, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's going to be a really creative way to get new players to the game. I think it's going to be a great way to get more creative with deck building and really just get rid of all like the craziness, right? Also, if you guys not know, as far as Genesis format is concerned, link monsters and pendulum monsters are all forbidden. That's the only thing that's forbidden, is you cannot use that. So it's really taking it back to old school Yu-Gi-Oh, which I think is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So first things first, we play 3 copies of the Almighty, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. 3 of this guy, with it being the more Genesis version, I just feel like playing 3 Blue Eyes is going to be the best way, just because we're going to play a more fusion heavy package. So being able to play 3 Blue Eyes gives us access to additional fusion monsters as well. So I really like that as well. We play 1 copy of the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Blue Eyes Jet Dragon is just a crazy good card, being able to special summon itself on destruction, protect destruction. Just a really good card to have overall. We weigh 1 copy of the Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, so that's a funny card, but honestly, it's a card that is extremely good. One of the better support cards that came out when Blue Eyes got his last wave of support. I think it was 2017 from the movie, so really good card to have off the rip as well. We played 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Yes, we finally got 3 ultis, whatever. 3 Sage, obviously just the best starter you have in your entire deck. Searches you Maiden, searches you Effect Veiler, which we do play. Effect Veiler is one of those cards that does have points, 7 points per Effect Veiler, so I'll go over all the counts as we approach them, but so far none of these cards are worth any points so far. 3 copies of Maiden of White, obviously one of the best cards in Blue Eyes, letting you activate your True Light directly from your deck. I played 3 copies of Primite Dragon Ether Barrel. So this is the part of the deck that I did not know if I wanted to include. Only reason why is because we don't have a link monster. It makes this card infinitely worse, just because we can't link this off into a link 1 search Mausoleum to get that additional normal summon. So we don't play Mausoleum because we have no way to search it, right? So unless we want to play 3 copies of Mausoleum, but it doesn't really do enough for you to go ahead and merit counting 3. So that's the one part I don't like about it, but I just thought the Primite engine was super strong, especially in a more what's called simplified format. I think that having the Primite stuff is going to be extremely strong. So the first card that we have, it shows that it's going to be worth any points. It's going to be the Primite Lordly Load, which is worth 33 points. So you can play 3 of them, then you have space for anything else. I decided to go ahead and play 1 because essentially we want to make sure that we leave space for Wishes. Wishes with Eyes of Blue, which is also worth 33 points, which is kind of where the inconvenient part in Blue Eyes is, but you guys will see when we get there. So 33 points for load all so far. 1 copy of Drill Beam, no points. And then I do play 1 copy of the Primite Fusion. Like I said, we are playing a more fusion heavy deck as far as that goes. Fusion and Synchros that we want to focus on. So really having more ways to fusion summon is never going to be a bad option, especially because this lets you fusion summon from using your graveyard as well. So Primite Fusion is just super good. I played 3 copies of Piri Raise Map. Piri Raise Map is just a crazy card letting you search any monster with 0 attacks. You can search your Sage and just go clean off from there. I think 3 is going to be mandatory to make sure you have that consistency as well. We played 2 copies of Roar with the Blue-Eye Dragons. I consider playing this at 3. It's definitely not a bad card to play at 3, especially because you just want to have more monsters on the board. But I think 2 is just fine. You can always search it, of course, and if you see it, then it's good. Also has the additional fusion effect from the graveyard, so obviously really good. We play 1 copy of Ultimate Fusion, obviously really good card as well, letting you fusion summon by shuffling back. So Ultimate Fusion has additional pop effect as well, so make sure you don't forget about that. And then you play 1 copy of Bingo Machine Go. I pulled this from a pack recently, and I was like, oh, it's actually really good. So I think 1 is just fine. And none of these are worth any points so far. I think you can consider playing more than 1 Bingo Machine, but essentially lets you reveal 3 cards from your deck. At least one of them that has to meet the criteria listed below. Has to be a Blue Eyes monster or a spell trap card that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, or your opponent randomly picks 1, adds to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest into the deck. So obviously not a bad card, especially when you lack in consistency. You just want to make sure you're able to get that. 1 copy of Wishes for the Eyes of Blue. This card is 33 points, so we're already at 66 points with the load and the wishes. So 1 will suffice, trust me. Let's see. Aside from this, we play 1 copy of True Light. Of course, we got the beautiful Starlight rare, very nice. 2 copies of Majesty. You can definitely just play 2 copies of Majesty just because obviously you're always going to have a Blue Eyes to reveal to pop. And in more pure Blue Eyes version, especially when you're doing with the structure decks, you can play 2 to 3 Majesty just because it's such a good card to be able to pop constantly, and just being able to have 2 obviously is just a great way to get additional forms of interruption. For our non-engine, I did decide to go ahead and play 3 copies of Skullmeister. Skullmeister is super good, 0 points. 3 copies of DD Crow, again 0 points. So Skullmeister negates any graveyard effects, and DD Crow obviously just banishes cards in the graveyard. So I think that with this format being as niche as it is, I think there's going to be a lot more graveyard reliant. They go some of the best decks, right, as far as this goes, and I just think they can be very graveyard reliant. So I think maxing out on these is really good. Also, they cost 0 points to play, so obviously you just want to take some type of advantage when it comes to the hand traps. And then I'm going to play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Searchable hand trap, obviously really good. Each one is worth 7 points. This is 21 points total, torture total, so that's something that we want to consider, which is why we don't play Joel and Lockbird. We actually play Enemy Controller. Enemy Controller is worth 0 points, an extremely powerful card, guys, and you can always, so Blue Eyes, what I like is that you can always have a great way to recur all of your cards, because it's really just it spams Blue Eyes so easily, guys. So being able to have this is going to be really good. Just be able to take your opponent's monsters, switch battle positions, things like that. But being able to take your opponent's monster is going to be extremely crucial as well, because you can always, like in the event it's a valid target, you can fuse with it, you can synchro with it, whatever it might be. You can't link it off, which is the one part that kind of sucks, but you guys will see what I mean, right? I'm gonna go over the side deck first, because I think the side deck is crazy, right? So 3 copies of Gamma Seal, not the craziest thing, trust me, but Gamma Seal is obviously really good. I will play 3 copies of Dark Hole. Dark Hole is 3 points each, so we got 9 points, and that's gonna be the last cards in the entire deck that costs us any points. We play 3 copies of Dark Hole. 3 copies of Swords of Concealing Light. I think this card is absolutely crazy because there's no links. You can just book a moon basically your opponent's entire board for free, and then you just play on to go about your business. Absolutely insane. 3 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. So this is a card, it's worth 0 points as well, which I think is really funny, because this card actually used to be at cracked back in the day, like 2-3 years ago. This card was absolutely nuts, right? Actually, more like 3, maybe 4 years ago. This card is absolutely crazy. So Ice Dragon's Prison, I definitely want to go ahead and play. And then 3 copies of Lost Wind. I've seen people play Breakthrough Skill. Personally, I do like Lost Wind. It may be a little bit biased just because I loved playing this card back in the day when I was on a budget, but Needless to say, Lost One is still an insanely good card, and in a format where Infinite Impermanence is really not going to be played just because of the point cost. You do have to have some types of way to interact with your opponent's board, right? For the extra deck, 2 copies of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. One is common. Yeah, okay. So a lot of mixed match rarities. I wasn't prepared for this format, so here we are. 1 copy of the Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes. We got 1 copy of Twin Burst Dragon, 1 copy of Primite Dragon Aether Barrelses, 1 Chaos Star Source Dragon. This lets you pop cards your opponent controls, so obviously being able to pop back row is going to be extremely strong. And then having this is going to be really, really good. Tyrant Dragon is so easy to make in this deck. You don't even need to do the Wishes equip. It just takes what any Blue Eyes White Dragon, any dragon monster, which your entire deck is full of. So I just think it's super, super crazy. We got 1 Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon, and then 1 Dingirsu Orchestra of the Evening Star. You don't really get locked. The only thing that really locked you before was the Link one, but Links are illegal. So Dingirsu is really, really good for a rank 8 along with Indigo Eyes, just to be able to push for game. And then for the Synchros, guys, we want to play 1 copy of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, 0 points. Lightstorm Dragon, 0 points. Ancient Fairy Life Dragon for OTKs, 2 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and 2 copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon as well, to round off our extra deck, guys. 15 cards in the extra deck, 15 cards in the side deck, 40 cards in the main. I think this deck is going to be absolutely crazy. I think that whole Genesis format is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to go ahead and play more of it and test other decks, things like that. But if you guys are interested in seeing any other type of deck profiles for Genesis or regular TCG, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll go ahead and bring you guys what I can. But without further ado, guys, hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see y'all in the next one.